Hello, everybody. In this video, I will just help you to emphasize a few important information I list on how the exam 2 look like and how to prepare for the exam 2, and so that you can more efficiently prepare for your second exams. So for this exam, one thing I want to emphasize is that we do not have multiple choices. So everything will be the calculation involving the regression models and then interpreting the results. So nothing is related to the multiple choice. So everything will be very similar as your Excel homework 5 and 6, and a plus there is one question related to the probability. So as you're preparing for the test, it's very important that you're going to come to this file called how the exam 2 look like and how to prepare for the exam 2. And so the exam 2 will be very similar as your exam 1, so it will be hosted on the D2L. And at the same time, you will notice that the test time is the same. So 1 hour 30 minutes. So 1 hour 30 minutes. So you can take any time between Monday to Sunday 11 p.m. And so make sure don't wait for last minute to work on it because maybe your Sunday doesn't have internet, so there is no makeup test. Make sure once you are ready, you can just take it. And so how you know you're ready? So make sure you're gonna follow this document to review your homeworks and attendance check. So homework and attendance check. So as you work on your homeworks, you realize that so attendance check is the first time you learn those concepts. You follow the video. So work on your attendance check questions because I go through the exact same question on my lecture videos, and then you move on to take it work on the homework. That is similar questions and but you work on a different data set. So for this test, it will be similar as your homework, but it will be shorter version because we only have 1 hour 30 minutes. So we have shorter versions, less questions, and however, each question will worth more points. Therefore, you definitely have to thoroughly prepare for the test. So for this test, it's open book, open note. However, again, similar as any of your exam in this class, so you have to finish independent by yourself. And so honesty is very important. So if working and discussing with your classmate will be considered as cheating, and your classmate working with you will receive 0 for this test, because the fairness is very important. And so please be honest. And so let's look at how the test look like. So test has 3 sections. And so the first section will have only one questions. So that is related to the probability. And so I will go back to chapter 4 pretty soon after we went through these files. And so make sure you're going to look at the chapter 4 slides. So on this file, you can just click this link. It will just opens up the slides for you. And what I want to emphasize is you don't need to go through the whole chapter. So the only thing I will test in this first section on the probability is Bayesian theory. So the Bayesian theory is the only one we will test. As I said later, I will go back to this week to highlighting a few videos. Make sure you're going to rewatch them. And the second section, it's 70 points. So basically 70% of your second grades is related to the chapter 14. So keep in mind, chapter 14 is simple linear regression model. Simple linear regression model, so it is not multiple linear regression model. So the homework just finished, it is a multiple linear regression model. So it will help you on the section 3, but not section 2. So in order to prepare for section 2, the simple linear regression model, you have to revisit your exam 5, and look at your attendance check for week 9 and week 10's attendance check. And at the same time, I have developed this document called the Simple Linear Regression Model Confidence Interval and Prediction Interval. So you can download it to get familiar with it. Why? Because remember, when you work on exam 5, the most difficult part, I cannot say difficult, it should say most place student make small mistakes that are causing the finance wrong is the calculation of the prediction and the confidence interval. Remember that the very long equations, so make sure you are very familiar with how to use Excel to do the calculation, and so also get it right. So at the end of the semester, at the end of the test, I will ask you to submit your calculation. So the calculation is not acceptable, so you have to use Excel. And to keep in mind, everything in that formula is the information about your x variable. So when I grade your Excel 5, I noticed that some students actually using the x bar, it should be the mean of x. They're actually using mean of y's value to do the calculation. So that will be a mistake. So when you are reviewing this part, so you have your Excel homework 5, you have your attendance check. So the good idea is don't just look at it. So actually literally pull your Excel file out to recalculate it, see if you can get the answer right. So when you do the calculation, just be very careful. It must be very careful, because if you chose one value wrong, you'll find the answer going to be wrong. And also for this part, the interpretation is very important as well. As you work on exam 5 and 6, you notice that all the question when I ask you to do the calculation or find value from the Excel file, I also ask you to do the interpretation. So therefore, I actually summarize this document called Excel Exam 2 Helping Tool and Interpretation. So on this document, you literally will be able to get a called interpretation formula, because it's just give you some direction on how to interpret your results. So fully use this two document as well when you prepare for the test. So section 2 is related to chapter 14. So we use 2 weeks to learn it. Week 9 and week 10, we are learning the simple linear regression model. So make sure you're gonna spend lots of time on what you learn from those 2 weeks. And so the section 3, it is related to chapter 15. That is one you just finished. And so the one you just finished, keep in mind that in our second test, we are only have 20% related to the multiple linear regression model. It is because in the final exam, we will cover more. So this one, I only want to focus on dummy variable. So when you're preparing the for the test, that the information related to chapter 15, the multiple linear regression model, pay attention on the dummy variable. How to coding the dummy variable, given that I already defined the dummy variable for you. Just like your homework is finished, small, medium, large corporation. I already defined X3 and X4, and then you're gonna based on the definition of the dummy variable to adding the value for the dummy variable on the Excel file. So make sure you understand, you know how to get how to coding the dummy variable. And the second, pay attention on how you should interpret the the partial coefficient for the dummy variable. And so this is a very important document. Spend a lot of time to prepare before you take the second test. So now what I will do is, like I said, first I want to show you how you get access to your exam 5 and the 6. So the right after the due date, you should be able to see the answer key for the question that involving the numbers. And then I finished grading your homework already, 5, 6. Now you will be able to see the grading record, and then also you will be able to see the interpretation, the answer for the answer to the interpretation. First, let me show you how you will be able to get access to your exam 5 and 6. So first, click assessment, and then go to grades. So after you enter in the grades, so since I'm on the instruction row, so therefore all my points is empty because I cannot grade my own homework. So you guys should be able to see your grades. So under the section called homework, and you'll be able to see exam 5, and you'll be able to see your grades, and then you will see the feedback and the view feedback. So you will be able to see a blue link called view feedback, and then you click that blue link, and it will reopen the test for you. The difference between the test and this feedback is you will be able to see the answer for the questions. So for the interpretation question, and then you will not be able to see the answer right next to the question because I manually graded. So if you for each question on the button, you'll be able to see view feedback, and if you click that view feedback, you'll be able to see the answer key. You'll be able to see the answer key. And so for the exam 6, similarly, you will see your grade and view feedback, but this one also have actual file you will be able to see that's overall feedback. So that is the answer for all the interpretation questions. And so when you look at the view feedbacks, and if you didn't lose any point, that means you got it right. And if you do lose points, make sure you are click there is the link called the view feedback. Right under the question, you will be able to see why you make mistakes, So this is how you get access to the 5 and the 6. Remember, exam 5 is the one you work on the simple linear regression model. That is very important for this test. 70% of the question is related to exam 5 question. Okay, so this is the how you access to the 2 homework assignments. And then the next I want to mention is how you prepare for the Bayesian theory. So Bayesian theory, so we covered in week 8. So in week 8, we are covering the Bayesian theory. So in order to get ready for the Bayesian theory, first of all, make sure you watch the video 5. And then if you want to get some more detailed examples, make sure you watch video 6. This is about Bayesian theory, and also video 7, that's also related to the Bayesian theory, and also video 9, that also related to Bayesian theory. Besides those 3 full videos, and so I highly recommend you to go visit your exam 4 on the Mind tab again, because the last 4 questions are all related to the Bayesian theory. So make sure you are not just look at the answer or look at how you get it. First of all, rewatch the video related to the Bayesian theories concept, and then just redo it by yourself. See if you can get right answer. So hands-on practice is very important when you're preparing for the test. Please don't just look at it, because I take so many tests. If you just look at it, sometimes I think sometimes like your mind just trick you to make you feel you understand it. So, however, it'll be better practice if you actually work on it first before you recheck in the answer you already see in here. Okay, so this is the first section. That's related to the probability. Second section, like I said, is related to the simple linear regression model we learned in week 9. So make sure you look at the attendance check that you already submitted, and so you should have a copy of it. So look at attendance check. So if you don't remember how you get those answers, redo it, especially prediction and confidence interval and interpretation. And then second, like I said, week 10. It's the second part, and the second part of your attendance check of the simple linear regression model. Look at the attendance check, and also the exam 5. Okay, so this 2 weeks information we learned week 9, week 10 is related to 70% of the second exam, and then what we just finished, you just finished your exam 6, and you will be so you only need to look at whatever you learned from week 12, because week 13 we learned chapter 16 and the diagnostics. That is not in exam 2, but it will be in your final exam. But in the exam 2, you only need to recheck your week 12. So basically, look at your attendance check, and then look at the case 1 in your Excel homework 6. Case 1 in your Excel homework 6. So this is about our test, and hopefully you will spend quality time to get ready for this test. So for this week, we don't have any homework except this test. So if you do finish the test earlier, and then you definitely can start to work on the Excel homework 7. Let me go back. Okay, Excel homework 7. So for the exam homework 7, that is optional. So basically, if you look at the syllabus, and so for this assignment, if you work on it, if you get a better grade, so this one will be used to place the previous 6 if you get really low grades, or you miss one in the first 6. So this one will be used to replace one of the lowest in the first 6 Excel homeworks. And however, if you did it really bad, it will not hurt your grades. And so basically, like I said, this is optional. And so if you feel you just don't want to work on it, that's fine. However, I highly recommend you to work on exam 7, because the question in exam 7 will be related to your final exam. So this homework will not due until November 22nd. So will be 2 weeks later. Like I said, everything this homework will relate to what you're gonna learn next week. And so if you do finish this week's early enough, like I said, you can start next week, and then you can finish your exam 7. Then you can just focus on your project. So this is about our second exams. And so if you have a further question, I have a very long office hour on Wednesday night, and I chose the nighttime because I know some students might work during the daytime. Therefore, I put at night. And so if you have any question, feel free to stop by. And then I do have a plan that to go through the case one. I go through the exam 6 in this week's office hour on Wednesday. So I will re-talk about this exam preparation again, and I also will talk about Excel Homework 6. So I plan to talk about the preparation at the 6 o'clock, exam preparation at 6 o'clock. And at the 6:30, I will start to talk about exam 6. So if you have any question regarding exam 6, make sure you will zoom in. And I will record the session as well, and I will share with the whole class if you by chance you're gonna work, and so you still will not miss anything. So good luck, and so good luck for your tests.